cash.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Under the Sky. I'm your host Lamar, here with the usual gang. Squad goes. My boy Uriah here.
Top of the morning.
Young Wax is here. My boys decided to come as a unit and match today. I like it.
Yeah, uncoordinated. It just felt it.
I like the purple boys. What made you guys want to come in purple today? What inspired the outfits?
I don't know, I was feeling purple.
You got the shoes.
And then he got the tail. Look at him. He looked like a Hornets basketball player. It's like, yeah.
Jarrell Ball. Jamelo Ball.
Alright, what inspired you to purple?
Bro, I don't know. I was like, dang, I need a shirt. I feel like I always wear a white shirt. So I grabbed a different color shirt and it happened to be purple. That's basically it.
He's like, I never wear purple.
Yeah, I never wear purple, but here we are.
Exactly. Shout out to the Lakers.
Nah.
Episode 33.
33.
If I'm not mistaken. Everything Under the Sky, episode 33. How are you guys feeling this week?
Good.
Feeling Uriah's back on the couch.
I know.
It's good to see you, my boy.
Normal spots.
You know what I'm saying? September, man. I just realized that summer's coming to an end.
Yeah, soon.
Like literally, because fall is like the 21st or 22nd or some shit. So we gotta definitely have a bonfire or something for summer. Send summer out the right way.
Yeah, it's 22nd, just to be exact.
For sure. How are you guys doing though? Episode 33 in the trap.
Me, I'm cool, man. I've just been staying busy. I think I've already told you I dove into this 9/11 world for like a solid 5 days straight and watched like every documentary I could. It was like inspiring, sad, all sorts of emotions mixed into one when you watch that, for sure. And when I say inspiring, just by the heroism that was going on during that day.
Yeah.
But then,
and honestly, that brought America so close together, and like
yeah,
the people
for sure.
and like the unity.
Well, and when you're watching that, you see like it was literally like, hey, your people, you're my people. Let's get out of here. Let's figure out how to get out of this building, how to survive. And like, yeah, shout out to the firemen because they clearly risked their lives for that. That's insane to be able to look death in his face and still go and be like, I'm gonna save other people. So it's pretty insane. But also, I've been working too. I got a couple cooking videos that I'm about to drop at the end of the year. Yeah, I don't want to tell you guys what the recipes are because I want it to be a surprise. But yeah, been working on that, just grinding.
I like it. It's a great recap. It's probably the best recap we got. How you doing, Wax?
I'm good, man.
Dreadless Wax in the house.
Just enjoying these last few weeks of gardening. Just watching all my leaves fall off and wither away, and I'm like, no. But then I'm like, wait, it's supposed to do this. And just
Starting to get cold.
Pick off all the veggies and stuff.
I don't know if y'all noticed at night, it's breezy out.
Oh.
But when you lose your crops, I'm pretty sure it's like the first freeze we have is like whenever the first freeze is,
like
you want to make sure yeah.
In a week, the high is supposed to be like 60, and then so the low is gonna be like in the 30s.
Damn, that's crazy.
I'm kind of scared. Scared?
And do you think is it snow or anything? No.
Nah, no snow. It's just gonna be real frigid. Which it'll be okay. Like they'll survive. But yeah.
That's what's up. I'm good too. Haven't really been up to much. I feel like I haven't really been at my house for a long time. So it was weird coming back and recording, but I've been good. Been anticipating the first week of football for the longest time. And it's dope that it was finally here in fantasy. I did pretty good, so that was good. I'm not too depressed this week. It's gonna be interesting to see how my mood changes week to week depending on fantasy, because it'll really be affecting like my whole soul. I be like putting my whole soul into this fantasy stuff, man. I be bleeding this, but so far so good. So I'm feeling good. I'm chipper.
Yeah, it definitely was mixed emotions that day as well.
There were some pretty good games. You said there were some ups and downs, but it's good to have football back. There's nothing like football Sunday. Like
For sure.
I don't care what you say. Football Sunday is different.
Yeah.
Just what is it? 12 hours of commercial-free
Exactly.
football.
Commercial-free football.
Especially when you got resin.
Exactly.
Terrell know what he's saying. It's everybody's favorite hour.
The witching hour.
Oh.
Red zone, boy. If you play fantasy, you gotta have red zone.
Got to. You see all the touchdowns. I'm sitting here thinking of where to get started this week. And I honestly don't know. So let's just jump into the shit. Let's just do a whole weekend recap. This is crazy we're starting here, but we're those guys. But VMAs. Let's get into the VMAs. And some of the Met Gala stuff, the Met balls. You guys see some outfits y'all like? Some outfits you would put on and hit the streets in.
If I'm gonna be honest, I like Rihanna and ASAP as a couple. I don't know, I like the way they came out, the way they vibe, and then like just their presence. Like I thought they were cool. I like that he came covered up. Obviously Rihanna is killing it. She looks amazing like always. So that was probably one of the highlights. Then you also got Kim and Kanye out there with their.
Apparently Kanye, but he didn't like walk the ball or go to the Met Gala. I don't think.
Well, see, we don't know. Do we know if it was even Kim?
That wasn't Kanye.
Exactly, they said it was, but I don't even know. But even still, he just like dropped
So who
her
did
off.
she have?
We don't even know if that was Kim, first of all.
Exactly.
No, it had to be Kim, bro. She was talking to her sisters and shit,
For
taking
real?
pictures. There was this one picture, it was like Kendall showing off her imaginary friend. Yeah, the
That's
outfits
hilarious.
though were outrageous. It's funny that you said Rihanna killed it because her outfit was outrageous to me.
Like, what does outrageous mean? Because I feel like that's what they're going for, though. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the theme? Like, what's the theme?
The theme was like something American.
It was America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I guess people
Crazy ass America, I guess, huh?
It was America, and they said ASAP came dressed as like some Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch.
Captain
Captain Crunch. They put him in a bowl of cereal.
No, when he took that shit off, though, he matched with her at least. You know what I'm
Yeah, I was
saying?
gonna
Like,
say the only thing to answer your question, the only thing I would wear was ASAP's fit. Mine is his Captain Crunch robe.
I love
really? You weren't on the Lil Nas fit? So I ain't gonna play.
The robot one? Wait, was
The
it
like gold one?
Halle came out with
Yeah.
it
I'm pretty sure that was at the
Nas
Met.
was everywhere this weekend.
everywhere. This is moment. We'll get
It
into
is.
it.
He's wearing a dress and shit.
We'll get into some Nas here soon, but his outfit was dope. I like the little
Yeah.
R2D2. What's that food from Star Wars?
C3PO.
Oh yeah, C3PO.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is R2D2?
He's the other little one.
Oh yeah, C3PO. is
Yeah.
So you're feeling Rihanna's beanie?
Bro, Rihanna's just bad. Bro,
Whatever
I'm
she
not
wear.
saying she's not that, but bro.
she could be wearing whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah,
What
she
is-
look good.
What is she wearing?
It's a dress.
She looked like the Wicked Witch of the West. Low key.
the sexiest Wicked Witch
Yeah,
of the West.
I'll definitely still wife. I love the internet's power to freaking make everything a joke, and like to make a joke out of everything. Because you know, they said ASAP came out and he had it was covered, and then he like uncovered it, and they were like, "That's all he gave us." Like,
For real, it's pretty basic.
people were like, "Wait, that's all?" I was
That's
dying.
what you're hiding?
Like, why did he cover it up?
Right, I was dying at that. Frank Ocean pulled up with the baby robot, the green
Like,
baby.
what does that
robot.
mean?
I don't know. Does that mean the album's coming?
Nah.
That's what it means.
Always looking for something. What does that mean? That's your first question. What does that mean?
Please.
Frank, what are you trying to tell us?
Yeah, with this,
Album coming soon?
and it looked like an alien too.
Yeah, and it
The
was
little green baby?
same color green as his hair.
Bro, the
Kid Cudi was there too, looking like a little kid.
Kid Cudi was there looking like he was having the best time of his life.
I didn't see Kid Cudi. He always looks like he's having the best time of his life.
He like made a whole Instagram page just based off of pictures of that night, I feel like. So with the blackout. But this fool Frank Ocean's robot was like,
Did it move?
hell.
What? That's
yeah, it
weird.
will like look at you like. I think it like detected like sound and shit because you'll say some shit, it'll look at you like.
Yeah, they're like, Frank, show us the robot, show us the robot.
And then Frank will be like, look, and then
And then it'll start moving low key.
Bro, what if iRobot was real, bro? What if they really predicted that shit? In 20 years, we're gonna be having robots everywhere.
Well,
I mean, we are.
yeah, iPhone, iPad.
Alright, robot.
Yeah, but more like
Apple's gonna create robots.
more
Why wouldn't
artificial intelligent, like more human interactive sort of robot. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, that's a high robot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They about to, shit about to be crazy.
What about the VMAs though? Y'all were talking about the VMAs earlier.
I didn't really get to watch the VMAs. The only thing I really knew was that Doja Cat was hosting it.
Was she?
That's what I thought. Am I tripping?
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
I didn't watch it. I didn't even know what was
We
going
were talking
on.
about not watching it.
What you
But
say?
We were talking about not watching it, and then of course Nas stole the show.
Yeah.
Because I saw highlights of. That's how I knew the VMAs was on. Because Nas.
Lil Nas. It's just
Lil
his
Nas,
moment.
like I said, that Lil Nas
Yeah,
X,
Lil
but not
Nas.
Nas.
Because I know she had. Hello.
Oh, what the hell?
Well, what is that?
Looks like a centipede.
Bro, it's a caterpillar.
She does. She looks like
The caterpillar from A Bug's Life.
Exactly.
Hell no.
Normani performs look like.
I've seen a lot of Normani pics.
But let's see.
Oh, Justin Bieber. I
Lil
saw
Nas.
Justin Bieber return for the first time after like 6 years.
To the VMAs.
Yeah, he won some type of award.
Did he perform?
He performed it.
That's probably.
That's what I meant about
Yo,
returning.
this has to be the funniest fucking. We're talking about people at the Met Gala. This is the
She was
funniest
like, I can't be
outfit.
here, so I'm gonna wear my outfit.
That's what I'm saying. The Met Gala always sneaks up on me like so randomly.
Cleo.
Oh yeah, Chloe.
Yeah, or
Chloe.
She's-
Cleo.
Sorry.
So,
The Met Gala always sneaks up on you, but it came like right after the VMAs, so I feel like people were already like together in Lincoln, and then right after they just like walked over to the Met Gala. In my head, this is like how it all happens.
Is that Paris?
So like Chloe was there, Chloe and Haley were at the Met Gala together.
But Chloe was the one that performed.
after
Yeah.
the Met Gala, you said?
Yeah.
Haley was looking good.
Did you guys see his like interaction with that reporter, and he was trying to talk about his outfit,
Mm-mm.
and she was like basically like, let's move on because she didn't like it.
That reporter, that was Eve, I'm pretty. Oh, that was Lil Mama,
Was that one?
Halle, and they were like, that's her gonna be her last.
I didn't even notice that was her.
Yeah, that was Lil Mama.
No, but I didn't really watch it too much, so I don't have too much to say on the VMAs.
Have you guys ever watched it?
Back when I was younger, I don't know, as
I don't think I've ever watched a VMA.
I think I've seen it a few times.
yeah, when I definitely.
But now nobody just watches like a whole show. It's
Video
just-
Music Awards.
Right, it's just little here, it's here.
So it's all about music.
You just see
videos.
everything online. So I seen Chloe's performance online. She smoked it.
Yeah, I did see that. A lot of people were posting it too.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It looks like she's getting ready to drop an album.
What
here
was
soon.
weird?
She was licking the microphone.
Oh.
She's a performer. Yeah.
That was like the most outrageous performance I've seen next to like Miley Cyrus. That shit
I
was-
mean, she's kind of been going that route though,
Kinda
like
like for
expressing
shop-
herself
shop
more.
value.
Yeah.
She's doing a lot of
I
shop
was
value.
like, what the heck am I watching right now?
She dropped a
If you
single.
follow her on Instagram, you could definitely tell she's like more
Changing.
open. Yeah, yeah.
Because I definitely followed her from the beginning. She's
She
definitely
just dropped a
changing.
single.
I think I like Haley better.
Did y'all listen to her,
Really?
her music at all?
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
song
what I'm
that
saying.
she
She's
performed,
changing. Like you could hear it in her music.
Yeah.
She's like.
But it seems like she's kind of going in the same trajectory of like the other big female artists in the way she's trying to do it. Like she's following like a blueprint that's been laid out
I mean,
for
she looked like Beyonce when she was dancing.
Oh,
Just
for sure.
More.
But I even get like kind of like a Nicki Minaj sort of vibe from her sometimes in the way she does change her voice
Beyonce,
like that.
Nicki Minaj, and Miley Cyrus mixed together.
But she's
Oh.
signed to Beyonce, if I'm not mistaken. So like,
I'm sure she's getting tips and stuff
She's
like
under
that.
her label, so whatever.
Mhm.
Whatever that means.
so she has to be getting some type of tips. I seen Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow's performance making rounds, going viral. That's pretty much it. I seen Lil Baby on the freaking red carpet with Meg, and he was like creeping on her at the Met Gala.
Oh,
It was looking super
Yeah, I
awkward.
was like, are they together?
I don't know. It was looking.
Were they walking together, or was Baby just walking by and he was like, oh, fuck, let me take a picture with Meg?
I don't know, cause she was like not trying to acknowledge him for a minute, but then there was another video where like the reporter acknowledged both of them. He was like, "Oh, and we have little baby here," but then she kind of like walked off. But then she like waited for him, but they weren't like talking to each other. I don't know what was
Yeah, I was
going
like,
on.
I don't know, that was weird.
I didn't see that, but that sounds funny.
Hey, you gotta watch it, you gotta see it. He was like, watch it.
it was super awkward. Like she was getting interviewed and he was just like, just making a straight face.
Y'all seen that video of him and James Harden?
Yeah.
Walking, it's like same thing. He's like, wait, do I stop?
No, somebody said, why does it look like Lil Baby always look like he just got yelled at?
I saw a meme, they had a picture, and then Meg was like more like into the picture, and it was like, he said like when get his order wrong.
Like when a woman got to back you.
Yeah.
I seen that.
He said he wanted cheese on his burger.
There was also a versus that went down yesterday. It was kind of low key.
Damn, versus.
Yeah, like I didn't hear nothing about it. To be honest with you,
I
until I saw it trending.
kind of on Instagram for a
Is it on
minute.
Apple still?
Nah, Triller.
Oh yeah, Trillium. I'm tripping.
Triller kind of took it over. Ja Rule versus 50 Cent, or that's what it should have been.
That would have been crazy.
But 50, man, Ja Rule versus Fat Joe
Wait, what?
is what I meant to say. And it was
Nah,
in New
you can't
York.
go from Ja Rule first 50 to Ja Rule versus Fat Joe.
It was in New York at Madison Square Garden, if I'm not mistaken. They were like both performing, of course. They had the live crowd. I think you said Joe Budden was tweeting about it. I think he was there live, so it looked like they had a cool crowd in attendance. Did you guys see, I wasn't even gonna bring it up, but you talked about it earlier. Did you guys see too much, you said you seen it trending, did you see too much going on about Versus last night?
Like, what do you mean by too much? Like,
Did you see anything about
see
Versus?
anything? No, I just seen like a lot of people's opinions. Like, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, so I don't know if I have a full-on opinion of who would have won or not won, because I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw some performances. I do think from the songs I did hear from Ja Rule, there was more nostalgic feeling than maybe Joe Budden would have been.
Fat Joe.
Or Jesus, yeah, Fat Joe. We're all fucked up over 50 Cent,
I
Joe
know.
Budden,
They
Fat
They all
Joe.
got the same.
But yeah, like I definitely think his music was more nostalgic to me, and it seemed like a lot of people were fucking with Ja, so I didn't hear too much about Fat Joe, to be quite honest with you.
Fat Joe's weird because he has the hits, but it's like it's different because it was a good verses. For one, it's hard to follow up the verses that we just see, Dipset
Sure.
versus Locks.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of played a role into it not being as big. I think when I logged on to Locks versus Dipset, it was like 700K on Instagram, 600K on yesterday for Ja Rule versus 50. I think the most that they had was like 300K. And I was like, I wonder why it's so small. But I think that's because people want to see 50 Cent. Either way, it was pretty good. Fat Joe brought out Remy. They both brought out Ashanti, of course. She was looking
Yeah.
amazing. Fat Joe, or Ja Rule brought out Lil Mo too. And it was pretty close for a minute, but Ja Rule, like you were saying, he got that more nostalgia. He was on the radio a lot more.
And he got that energy in his music.
And
a
he
lot
got
more,
the
you know what I
energy.
mean?
He was
Yeah.
kind of like killing the crowd. And low key, Fat Joe was trying to kill him with like this real hip hop, this that street, this that like Brooklyn stuff, that Bronx borough. But then
He's trying to be Jada Kiss.
yeah, but then Ja Rule was like, I'm a singing rapper. He said, I don't what you expect me to do. He said, you get embodied by singing nigga. I'm like, oh, you didn't pull that one.
But also going back to like the promotion, like I for Dipset and Locks, like I saw promotion for that. I didn't.
Was it on Instagram?
More on Instagram for sure, because that's really where I get Instagram, Twitter, all the social medias like that. I didn't really see
I
anything
wonder,
like this.
was it just because people were like sharing it more? Like, were people more excited about it?
I feel like it maybe
Or maybe they just
because that was the first time we had
more
like a group, right? Has there been any other groups?
Nah, they
before?
did Jagged Edge and 112. It was,
Oh, yeah,
it was
yeah.
more low key.
Yeah.
They did SWV and Escape. They did
So they've done
the old school group.
The
They
old
did,
school groups.
Earth, Wind and Fire and the Isley Brothers. That one was pretty
Okay.
good.
Nah, that was gonna be maybe my reason, but you just proved that wrong. So
Yeah,
I don't.
it was
I
just-
really don't know what it was, but I didn't see anything until I was like, "What? There's a versus right now?" I was like confused. So
That's real solid. With all that said, though,
Bro, I really can't think of a Fat Joe song besides
What?
Lean Back.
I was gonna say like,
I was like, that's the main one. I'm all the way up.
mm,
And that's the thing too. He was saying like, I got some newer hits because Ja Rule's like, he had his era and then he kind of stopped. Fat Joe's like, I started before you and I'm still making hits. So Fat Joe had that Boricua The big pun
Yeah.
kind of rang off. They both had New York, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
They're both on that song.
Yeah. So they performed that together?
At the end, that was the end. And then they brought Ashanti out at the end and they performed there both with
Okay.
them. It was pretty good, man. But Ja Rule is in a class of his own. And Fat Joe even said that at the end. He was like, everybody was scared to go against Ja Rule because he had too many hits. So I picked him specifically because like I knew it was going to be a good show. But he knew what kind of problem Ja Rule was.
Well, I also think all these verses, what I get from a lot of times is like, imagine if we would have grew up more with their music, you know what I mean?
True.
Like,
So it hit differently.
yeah,
Different
exactly.
folks.
As you're older and you have a different understanding for music and what you like, you listen back to these people and you're like, wow, they were actually making really good music, and we just probably
And they're still here today. Like,
exactly. They're still relevant. Yeah.
relevant, healthy. Like you said, Ja Rule's looking good. Like they didn't lose their brain.
People are saying he needs to get a workout plan.
They say he does. He needs to get a workout plan.
Like
He needs to give.
give a workout plan.
Oh,
yeah.
Every time you said that, I was
I know
like,
that for a
that's
second I
what
was.
I
Yeah.
was like, Ja Rule's always in shit. But,
Yeah, but he's also old now. He's like probably in his 40s.
Yeah, but see, he hasn't been 40.
Bro, I remember when he dropped that song when I thought he was old back then. He said probably hell old now. He was all buff and bald.
Holla, he's still bald. He looked like the same though. That's the thing.
You remember that song?
Hella.
He was riding the car with the top off.
That was all of his songs.
That fool was
Bald with the top
45 and Fat Joe was 51.
I ain't that old.
I mean, 45? That's, I mean, in the grand scheme of life, no, he's
to
not
still
crazy
look
old,
as good
but-
as he looks.
Exactly, but to be 45 and still healthy, imagine the average 45-year-old. They're probably like hella out of shape, especially in America. So, in the grand scheme of things, yeah.
Man, it was a good show, man. I just wonder, like, verses, I love verses, but it's like, how big can they go? How far can they take this? There's only so many verses you can do until you kind of run out, I feel like. And then will you do like rematches? Will you just pit other people against other people?
Well, to level up, if they need to keep going further, they need to start getting the bigger name people and somehow negotiating them to do it. Like, whether it's like, Drake, Kanye, if we want to go back to that, or
Kanye said Swiss Beats said Kanye reached out and he wanted to do a versus, but I don't. Drake.
Lil Wayne, Kanye in their time.
Drake had too much to prove.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne versus Drake would be good.
Or Lil Wayne versus Drake, but they kind of already did that.
Not versus.
Not a
but
versus,
they had
yeah,
the concert.
tour, yeah.
So Jermaine Dupri, I guess, was at the Garden last night, and he sent some shots at Diddy. He sent the picture to Twitter, and he was like, "Somebody let Diddy know I'm at the Garden right now, and he gonna need some training for me." Diddy is never on Twitter, but he seen this, and he was like, "Beloved, you my nigga, but your arm's too short to box with the God. You ain't got enough hits. I'll smash you with just Biggie and Mary." That's all. But I do have the utmost respect for you, on you as a musical legend. And he goes on to say, Dre is the only one that can get in this ring with me. Love. And that made me think, like, woo.
That would be crazy.
He said, so you say some bigger names. If Dre get in there, that's going to do some damage.
But those are bigger names too. Like getting people like that, because
Yeah.
they're like in the upper echelon. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
And honestly, I like the producer battles better because they can pull for more, and it's like, I don't know, I just like the producer and the writer battles better.
I think I like it because then you also see how they had an influence, and you're like, oh wow,
It's with the low key,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, they did
Yeah.
that.
What opened my eye to that is the Lil Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. I'm like, dang, Soulja Boy, okay, you a producer, okay.
He was
Didn't know
messing
you was
with
on this song.
Messing with Lil Wayne a lot.
It's like, wait,
And
Soulja
yes.
Boy, where's your verse at, Soulja Boy? Yeah, I think it's dope. Like the producers, because it like helps them get their exposure. Like, look, I did this song. This is my
Low
song.
key, and the
Because I
writers.
feel like now the artists are like trying to show that appreciation. Like Hit Boy and Nas, like he's throwing the name of the producer on the album with him. You know?
Or even yeah. I think
The
Metro.
track listings too.
Who do you think was like besides like DJ Khaled and people like that? I would, someone that comes to mind for me, like producers that was really getting their names put on the album and get more credit, was like Metro.
Metro for sure.
Yeah.
He had one of the more realizable tags too.
The tag.
Yeah,
They-
and Pierre Bourne too, I'd say.
Yeah, they were like forcing they're like,
Yeah.
you can't take my tag off. Like,
Yeah.
they gonna hear my name regardless.
Lex Luger was one that was
Lex Luger,
important or popular back then.
Yeah, the tags. Who started the tags? That's
That
the
is
question.
DJ Mustard. Let's not forget Mustard. Mustard on the beat. Yeah, that shit went crazy.
Who was the first one?
And Drama too, I guess. DJ Drama.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Gangsta Grills.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know if he actually. I'm sure he made a couple beats.
But I mean, yeah, I wonder. Either way, yeah, he's probably more like a DJ Khaled type. Yeah.
Right. Executive produced. But honestly, I do want to see Jermaine Dupri get in the ring and get in the verses with somebody. I just don't think it's Diddy. I'm sorry. But it's funny because everybody tries to switch it up. Like, of course you're gonna want to go for Diddy.
Yeah.
But Jermaine Dupri, don't let that go over your head, because Jermaine Dupri do got a lot, and he do got some hits on him. So
Jermaine Dupri good battle Master P.
that would be a good one.
That would be.
That would be a good one. I see Busta Rhymes and Missy's name floating around, because you know they're known for like the theatrics.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy visual.
Yeah, I think I heard that debate going around there.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, I think who's the one that runs the verses?
Swiss and Timbaland.
Yeah, Swiss and Timbaland. They were like, yeah, I understand like why people would say that, because their music videos are very similar, but as far as like their
Content.
discography, it's gonna be like a little different. So how do y'all feel about that?
Like, are they saying they're not like similar? Because I would think they are. They both are kind of out there in their own right.
Off the wall.
Yeah, like. But would it be like a concert that I'd maybe be super hyped to see? I don't know, because it is more a visual thing. Like, I'd probably enjoy the experience more at home than watching it live. So maybe it would work for versus.
No, I'm just saying, like, for verses, is it lopsided, or do y'all think it's pretty even?
Honestly, I think Missy
I think Missy would
is
probably.
another animal,
Yeah.
but she produces and writes a lot too. So she might have to go with somebody a little bit tougher than Busta.
Yeah, Busta, he's known for the videos, don't get me wrong. But
Mhm.
as far as hits and songs,
Yeah, Missy's
And
different.
he's more lyrical too, if you really get down to it, with his wordplay and different things like that.
Yeah. What about Diddy versus Dre?
For
Are these like the two biggest producers? I would say so. Yeah. Who do we have in the versus battle?
I'd probably say that the two biggest ones that have the
has to be
influence on
Diddy
hip
and
hop.
Dre.
Yeah, has
Who
to.
else?
They've had the biggest influence.
Kanye, Swiss, Pharrell.
I still think I'd give it to them.
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Diddy versus Dre.
And then
What?
Swiss versus Pharrell.
Who do y'all got?
Diddy versus Dre.
It's like East Coast versus
You know,
West
I
Coast.
I was like, I don't know how to sit there and think,
It's
because
literally East
That's
Coast
literally
versus
what
West
it
Coast.
is.
They're gonna have to give us 50, because 20 is not gonna be enough for them.
yeah, that's tough.
And they're gonna have to get a bag. Like, we're gonna have to pay a lot to get Dre out the house. And Diddy shit.
Nah, I don't know. Who could fuck with Diddy, bro?
Diddy's
I'm over
different.
here thinking of all his songs.
I think
Yeah,
that
but
would
Dre has been with a
Yeah,
lot of
making the
people
band
too.
That's what I'm
7.
saying.
He literally had making the band 7. He literally made 7 bands on TV that we literally watched him make.
But Dre was a part of like 5 influential groups. He went from like
No, yeah, Dre's
Boys in the
he's the
Hood
closest person to him.
to Suge Knight and them. Then he like went with Snoop Dogg. Then he went with Eminem. Like he has so much,
50 Cent.
and then he went to like he has so much, and then he went to Kendrick
I was
and
like, okay,
that's what I'm saying, like-
TDE. So he has a lot to pull from. That'll set the internet on
Now you
fire.
got Corday.
I think the only one that's
Corday.
he ain't gonna play no chord.
Nah, he-
it ain't dropped yet.
I'm just saying he's still.
But no, that's
But he's still
out
relevant,
there.
yeah, helping
Yeah,
him,
no, he's
yeah.
still in the streets for sure.
Yeah, anybody close? Anybody close to Diddy? Besides Dre?
I think that was set the internet on fire. I think there's only one that would like be better than that right now, and I think that's Kanye versus Drake. Other than that,
Honestly, I think another really good one would be J. Cole versus Kendrick. Like,
I think that would be a good one.
that would be crazy. to
I think
me.
a lot of people would say J. Cole is undermanned
I don't know if I
because he
agree with
doesn't
that. 'cause
have the commercial success.
yeah. I mean, most people would probably say Kendrick's a
But because we're like J. Cole, like
fans, yeah. I'm a fan of J. Cole.
connoisseurs,
Still can't believe
we're
he
like,
don't
oh,
have
listen.
number one.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Still can't believe you don't have the number 1.
Cole?
Mhm.
Dang. Yeah, they said Future just got his first number 1 with this Way Too Sexy.
With Drake,
Yeah. So this number 1 stuff is kind of weird.
Who else was on there? Future? I think you got a second. So you already have one.
No, he got his first. I just said.
Future?
Mhm.
I mean, why I say Future? Young Thug.
Mm.
Is it Young Thug's first?
No, second.
Oh, second.
Do you know what his first was?
Mm.
I'm interested. I was thinking the London might have charted pretty high, but probably not number one because J. Cole was on that. J. Cole took him on tour from that song. He's like, hey, this boy Young Thug kind of nice. And what's crazy is Kanye, I guess Kanye actually reached out to Swizz and was like, yo, I want this nigga Drake in the ring. But they would have to do like 52. 20 isn't enough for them. But I'm kind of over talking about Kanye versus Drake. So I know last week we, it was still kind of early in our synopsis. So like, let's just leave it until the end of the year. Kanye versus Drake. Are we still, did you have a chance to listen to the whole Drake album yet? Or listen to more?
It's too much music right now. I'm not the type of person that can just like, just listen.
So basically, Kanye versus Drake, Donda versus CLB, once and for all. Are we still sticking strong to our picks?
Well, I did a little testing experiment on Instagram. According to the people, it's Certified Lover Boy. It was only 31 votes, 25 certified. No, sorry. It was 33 votes. 25 Certified Lover Boy, 8 to Donda.
The streets is talking.
I'm still gonna go with Donda though. Fuck what everyone else saying.
What's funny is I voted for CLB. I don't know why. I just like wanted to see what the results would be. But I still don't know more. I don't know.
I've definitely listened to Kanye a lot more than I have Drake.
That's what I was about to say. I still go back to both of them like
Yeah.
a lot. I'm like, actually, I'm feeling like Donda today.
But I feel like Donda, I could listen to the whole album and just let it play. With Certified Lover Boy, I have to go to specific songs that I like.
There's a few skips.
Yeah.
There's definitely some skips. But there's some skips on Donda for me too. Once he starts getting into that middle, like 12, 13, 14.
Like by Moon.
Yeah, right 14.
Yeah.
It gets a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Even the Roddy Ricch one is a little like.
It's just mediocre.
It's definitely skip until it starts getting to the part twos and stuff.
But like you were saying earlier, I think you may have mentioned this on here, but the way it flows is just so crazy. Like
beautiful.
It is. It's a masterpiece. But I mean, I see why people like Certified Lover Boy. It's more of a summertime album.
I think I heard someone say this. Certified Lover Boy is a more aesthetically pleasing album. So like, it's better. It's more pleasant to listen to. You can listen to it with your family. You can listen to it with your girl. You can listen to it driving. Like, it just sounds good. For Donda, it's like, it's a lot of lags. It's a lot of instruments. It's a lot of like, he breathes on the track for like a whole 30 seconds at one point. He's like giving chants about Donda on there. So it's like, a person's first listen, it's a little bit more like staggered. It's like, what is this? What's going on here? Whereas CLB, it is, I can see it's like more pleasant to the ears when you first
Like
hear
it's
it.
more catchy. It catches on first. Yeah, I can see that.
But I think I said that last episode, is Donda grows on you a lot more. It has the opportunity to grow on you a lot more. So I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I wonder if any of these gentlemen would drop a deluxe album, but they don't seem like deluxe people.
I think when you're in that echelon of like,
It's like, this isn't my deluxe.
Yeah, like you're getting what you get.
I worked my,
You gotta pay extra to get my other shit.
I worked 2 years to get deluxe. What were we talking about just now?
Well, we were just talking about music. Can we get into a little bit of this music? Is this the right time to just dive in a little bit of the music that came out this week?
I think so, or stuff that's coming up. Real quick though, and I want to shout out to like Big Boss Moves on a scale of 1 to 10 on like the biggest boss move. I want you guys to rank this. I think this happened a couple days ago. I think we all know this gentleman as Rick Ross. His son's birthday, he turned 16, and Rick Ross gave his son a Wingstop franchise for his 16th birthday, and he posted it on Instagram. He says, "Everybody wish my son, Big Bank, a happy 16th birthday. Today he became the owner of his first Wingstop franchise. Now you're officially a boss."
That's my first reaction. That is a boss ass move.
If
if you could give asset where your family, your king, your son can make money and keep that establishment, and that establishment's not gonna go nowhere, that's a boss move.
At 16, like
That's-
you're already
that's crazy.
a business
Yeah,
owner.
exactly.
It's
And
passive income too.
Imagine how much experience he's gonna get from that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a boss move.
And I feel like when you own something, it makes you more passionate. So he's like, I'm about to be in here running in, I'm about to sweep the floors, I'm about to make sure this is the best weed stop ever. So I thought that was super dope. Shout out to Rick Ross and shout out to a 16-year-old son who looks exactly like this.
I thought that was Rick Ross.
I thought it was 2 when you pulled it up, but I was like, oh, that's not Rick Ross. That's a 16.
16.
Oh, okay.
16-year-old.
Yeah, not 16.
I thought the balloon was just turned at the right angle.
Not
you know?
46, not 36, it's 16. Shout out to Rick Ross. But speaking of music, we talked about, look at this picture also. Like,
That's-
wow, lavish. We talked about Meek and Rick Ross not getting along, and I've been paying attention closely just to trying to see what's been going on. And for a minute, I was looking on Twitter, and I didn't see Rick Ross retweet anything, and he just retweeted Wale's picture, and he was like, Wale album coming soon. I was like, that's weird. Meek Mill literally just like announced his album was coming. But then I went to Instagram, and it looked like he posted Meek Mill's album cover. So I think all that rumor about them going back and forth, or about them like not seeing eye to eye, I think that's all cap. I think
majority of the things we do see is usually cap, if we're being honest.
I think it was truly just a rumor. I think him and Meek Mill, Rick Ross and Meek Mill, I think they're on good terms. I think everything's fine. And it says MMG DC, so.
We just never really know. It's so easy. Like, do you guys ever play that like game when you were younger and like someone would start with the C
Telephone?
Yeah, and then they would just get to the end and it'd be totally
Yeah.
fucked up.
I love that game.
Yeah, but that's real life, right?
Literally.
With everything. Like, someone gets a fraction of a story and then they add more onto it, keep adding, and then it's just completely wrong.
It's crazy because literally every time you started, it changed by the time you got it.
It didn't matter.
No
Yeah.
matter what you started with, it always changed.
Didn't matter.
So that is definitely a great, what's that called? Like a great little, like,
Analogy or
yeah,
or metaphor.
a test run for real life. But Meek Mill is coming. We speculated maybe he might be dropping an album. He's been dropping all these singles. Looks like Meek Mill is dropping an official album called Expensive Pain on October 1st. Shout out to Meek Mill. Definitely looking forward to
Damn,
that.
so is he the one crying in the middle? Is that me?
It says Expensive Pain, and it looks like he's in
He's
some
out
expensive,
with the, yeah.
looks like he's in some expensive pain.
For real.
I love the little like pink dot right there.
I didn't even notice that shit. That is hilarious. Oh, that's funny.
No, but this artist is dope though. I went
Yeah,
and looked
that's
at the
dope.
artist, and she's dope. That's one of the best cover artists I've seen of the year. Definitely better than Drake's cover art.
For sure.
So
Because this is actually still like painting a picture of what. I mean, I guess Drake's kind of did, but I like this one. Like
that wasn't painting of anything. That was him on notes and hitting his iPhone
True.
16 times.
You just had to change what.
But this is literally a work of art, and it's funny. We were talking about NFTs before the show started, but if you read here, that's the vibe that everybody's on. That's the young creatives vibe right now. Meek Mill posted his album and it says, "Pre-save now." It's giving me heavy NFT vibes. Like, this is gonna be a masterpiece. And I always say Meek Mill doesn't have no bad albums, and his last album might have been his best album. So I'm interested to see how he
And what I
builds
think
off of it.
with Meek Mill is he's gone into the place where he's becoming better as an artist. You know what I mean? All of his songs, the way he approaches it, and you can just tell. Ever since he got out of jail, the way he maneuvers is completely different.
He that was like his growing up.
Yeah.
Ever since he got out of jail and went straight to the Philly game and hit the bell, that was his call to fame. He started hanging out with Robert Kraft and Michael Rubin, and he has not looked back since.
Bro, NFTs are crazy.
Bro, we got everyone. We got us to.
How you just, that's crazy.
How you just gonna what?
It's crazy when you like look and see what NFTs are and how they work. It's like, how you just gonna own part of that? Why would you want to own that? Why would you want to have a ownership of that?
Why would you want to own this?
Like
a
the physical copy? So I can put it on my wall?
This isn't, this
What?
this is a fake copy of the
Yeah.
same piece, but
Yeah, I can still
guaranteed.
put it on my wall though.
No, can I finish?
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed someone has this real piece
And they
that's
get paid for
worth a lot more than we paid for this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. You know how many fake Mona Lisa pictures
No,
there are out
that's exactly what it is. It's art. They're like, dang, how can we make this?
But it's in a digital form.
Digital. How can we sell art digitally?
Right.
How can we convince people to want to own this digital thing?
Because art is moving digital, is how I see it.
And life and technology is moving digital. Like even if you think, I always look at this example when I think of like how the future is going to be. You know how the way they market houses, it's like market houses or like a place that you want to live in, it's like very minimal. And it's mostly because kids that are younger than us now, they like the idea of not like having like clutter around. They want it to be simple. They want everything to be from right here in their phone, just access fast. And that's kind of like what I'm getting at is like, they don't want the clutter, they don't want the painting, they want to be able to be like, oh, let me invest in this and I have like control over it, so to say. And that's why I think crypto too is like big because it's more accessible. There are different things that they're trying to do, tracking, like, I don't know, we could dive deep into that, into a rabbit hole, but I just think that's the future. Like people, they just want all digital stuff. They want to be able to access it from right here. And I think
that's a good point.
if you're gonna invest in it, like maybe this art goes crazy and people want to start using it everywhere. And if you invest in it, you're part owner of that art painting. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just a weird concept.
I'm not knocking the hustle part of it about it. I'm just knocking the weird part that owning a piece of art that you can hang on your wall versus I want it on my phone. Be like, hey, look, I own this art. Look, you know, like.
Yeah, but if you own it, anytime that gets used, like you're gonna make money off of it, right?
And it's
Right,
not
I'm
only
not
just
knocking
art.
the hustle part
Yeah.
of it at all.
Well, I think it's mainly just the hustle part of it. I don't think it's so much like.
That's what I'm saying. Like versus owning a piece of art, you know.
No, like a physical property or something.
Yeah, it's just crazy how they turned it digital. Like, yeah, I get like owning paintings. Like, yeah, you might have it. It's worth all this.
But I already feel like
it's
everything
on my
is.
wall. You know, I could touch it though. You know, I could go sell it to somebody else, and then they could appreciate it and put it on their wall or some shit. You know.
Mhm.
But now it's a picture. You have ownership. You have ownership. Depending on how much money I want my ownership to be. You know, how large my hustle I want my hustle to be, and my return to be. That's how I own it now. Versus it's on my wall. Nobody else could touch it but me. It's mine.
But I already feel like everything is digital because whoever owns the original copy of this, it's probably a digital form. Unless they shot it.
Obviously, this is not the original painting that we're talking about. I'm talking about like the picture, that painting that was. He said the digital copy versus the one that I put on my wall that she actually painted. Like she spent her time on it, and I'm the only one that has that copy.
But what's crazy, I think too, it's because of social media. Like, if she just had that one painting and she sold it to someone, maybe not everyone sees that painting
it's
and
such
shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
That's what I'm saying. I can't knock the hustle part of it because it works for her way better because now she could sell her painting to one person. Boom, she got one seller. That's it. She's done. Now she's getting paid for all these people now.
Yeah.
Because they're buying ownership, but in turn, that's increasing her ownership. You know, so we're all sharing ownership. I love the hustle part about it. You know,
Yeah.
I love it. I love the concept. I love it. It's just crazy how it happened and how we're going and how we're accepting it. How it's being accepted.
Well, I don't know if I would say it maybe. I don't think it is accepted
It's
yet.
still moving.
It's being
But
accepted.
I think-
What do you mean? It's happening. It's working. People are making money off
Yeah,
of
but
it.
there's still a lot of people that have control money in our country are older. It's like the baby boomers, right? So I do believe when it becomes more time where our generation has more control in like everything, like in politics and our money, our assets, I do think that's when this shit's gonna get big, which it could be right around the corner. That shit could just go out of nowhere. But I would still argue like it's not accepted by everyone because I think that's why even with crypto,
Well,
like
nothing is accepted. By
yeah,
everybody. I'm just saying.
but by the people that
the
have
first NFT was sold. It was, what I'm saying is it's accepted. Like somebody, it was accepted. Like the transaction was accepted.
okay, I get what you're saying.
Like
but there's still
it's
pushback
real.
on it though. We
Well,
know
there's
that,
pushback on
There's still a lot more for it to go.
Exactly. Like I would say it's like it's been accepted at the lowest level, but I think it's gonna only go up is what I would say. Like yeah, obviously it had to be accepted for someone to buy it and people start investing in FTs to even be a thing. or NFTs to be a thing. But I think once we have more control of our generation and we get more assets in this country and just in the market in general, I think that's when it's going to really take off.
Yeah, and I think it's not only just art, not even just physical art. Like I think Meek was getting more like he's going to NFT that album, with the artwork. Yeah, like you can literally do whatever.
It's literally a digital.
Charlamagne NFT'd his original copy of his book and his audio, him talking. So like, it's still so much more to learn. It's still so much more to grow. But with growth always comes more control and more like regulation. So it's going to be interesting to see. And that's what I think about Bitcoin too. Is like, no matter as something grows, it always comes more regulation, more standards, and more policy.
Well, true, and like something I was talking about before this that I kind of related it to was think about 25 years ago when the internet first was coming around and relevant. They had all the same like unknowns about the internet that they do for NFTs and cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Like it was all unknown, but I think it's gonna just happen so rapidly that it's just like. Same with the internet, like we just adapted to it and it's just gonna happen.
Before you know it, it was in every school.
Exactly.
But so, I'm looking forward to the Meek. If he's talking about NFT now, that means it has to be good, right? So we won't see.
Yeah, we kind of went on a rabbit hole, but I agree, I'm ready for it.
I was gonna say he has to have a whole feature, but he did that already. Like he had that last album, so I'm interested. Meek did a lot. Meek's like a low-key legend already.
I feel like, yeah, you were mentioning this in the last album that he is too. Before we even started this podcast, you've always kind of said that.
I love Meek, man. He's always been in like my top 10, crept around the top 10.
He's definitely slept on, for sure. Like, cause he's like, should be up there with the top names, but he's like not quite, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's because it's like outside antics more than anything.
Well, I think what kind of set him back was the whole Drake.
For sure. But that's just a part of his outside antics because he's tweeting and doing stuff he ain't got no business.
But that's when he started maneuvering differently, like his whole life changed, and I think he's bossed up on a whole different level.
Oh yeah, I could see Meek becoming a billionaire.
Oh, for sure. He's hanging around the right people.
Exactly.
So
someone takes the few right investments. So shout out to Meek. But we do have a couple albums that are actually here already. The Baby Keem dropped, Melodic Blue. We intro to the Boomin', number 13 off the Baby Keem. We could run that back real quick if you want.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I'm tired of the bugging, deep in protein boogers, get that shit out of my face. I gotta be honest, I cannot be happy.
And we are back. Everything Under the Sky, episode 33. You were just listening to Boomin' by Baby Keem off the Melodic Blue album. So we got some new music. Last week, honestly the last few weeks, we've been so fucking freaking. I've been trying to stop cussing so much too. We've been so freaking Donda and Certified Lover Boy heavy. I haven't really had a chance to listen to anything, or I haven't really even seen anything else drop. I've just been kind of focused. But Baby Keem dropped this past week, so that was kind of a breath of fresh air.
that was.
Did you guys have a chance to listen to the new Baby Keem album?
Still a few tracks.
What was your first instinct or your first thoughts?
The Baby Kendrick.
Nah, that's crazy because when I listened to the album, I was like, yeah, I could see where he kind of seems similar to Kendrick, but he has his own like vibe because he has like some more singing, melodized sort of songs, like
He's more alternative a little bit.
yeah, like so when I listened to the whole album, it kind of changed my view a little bit because like when I listened to Family Ties and even his last album, I used to always like, hey, he does kind of sound like a Baby Kendrick, but then when I listened to this whole thing, I was like, nah, maybe not. I think he's kind of developing his own lane, is what I think.
And I like it. I like the album. Let me just start off by saying that. I do like the album. I think it's always tough when you stand like besides or behind somebody because they're always going to compare you to them anyways. Mm-hmm. That being said, I do think he does sound like Kendrick. I definitely do. And I didn't really figure out like who else or like what else he was giving me until he did drop this album. But I hear like, honestly, you want to know the mix of artists that I hear in Baby Keem? I hear Kendrick Lamar and Playboi Carti. If they had a
I see
baby,
that, yeah.
I feel like this is what Baby Keem would produce. Like, they have their West Coast kind of swag, but still kind of alt left beats, still kind of like swag rap. That
you
voice.
can tell he's like with that generation.
Yeah,
too.
that little voice.
Yeah.
Like he'll try and bar you out, but then he'll still come back and just give you like, how? Just a couple quick
See,
ad-libs.
no, I definitely agree. He does sound like Kendrick, but this album made me be like, he kind of has his own lane. But now that you say that, I can see a Playboy Cardi.
That's crazy because I felt that way about Playboy Cardi and Kendrick. I was like, oh, this was just taking a little bit of like a pocket of Kendrick and just doing his own thing.
Oh wow.
Because Kendrick was like, in my opinion, he's the one who started like not using his own voice. Like bro, that's not your voice, Kendrick, but it sounds dope as fuck. Go ahead, do your thing. And obviously, fans, Cardi came up after him,
Right.
but I could see the sound of that. So I could see that mixture for sure.
Right. And
Definitely.
I wouldn't say Kendrick was the first. He was definitely one of the first, like for our generation. But I know the old heads would probably like bars down with a whole bunch of old people who probably
sure.
was, like voice twisting and bending. But Kendrick for us definitely was one of the first ones to like just be more animated and play with that whole sound. So I agree. That's interesting you say that.
Even when he was on that song with Drake, I was like, bro,
Yeah,
this is-
exactly.
look at his voice.
You sound like a robot.
Playing box.
But I'm like, was that on purpose? Like, was he like sound like a voice message or something? He sound like
That's just
a little.
how he wanted to come out.
I'm in a time box.
The voice stretcher.
Baby Keem is from Vegas though, but he is actually related to Kendrick.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
It says his influences were Kanye, Kid Cudi, and Kendrick, and I can
I
definitely
see that too. Yeah.
I can see the Kid Cudi.
Because even the production, the beat switches on a lot of these songs that he has, like you could kind of see that the influence from probably Kanye.
A
You
lot
know?
of beat switch, and he's on the Kanye album.
And going to like him kind of singing and stuff. That's probably where he got it from Kid Cudi. So
Yeah.
that's crazy that
Yeah.
seeing that as well.
Well, shit, his album is called The Melodic Blue, so that's definitely screams Kid Cudi and Kanye. Kanye was
For
one
sure.
of the first vulnerable rappers too. So, is he on a lake also? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yeah,
But
Rainbow.
do you have any
Rainbow
favorite
Dogs.
songs? And you guys have any favorite songs?
For me, of course, the ones with Kendrick always are gonna stand out. I really like Boomin', the one we kind of intro to.
Do rag activity.
Yeah, this who always says that. There was another. I like Lost Souls a lot too.
That's one of mine. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say Lost Souls.
South Africa, Lost Souls. I like. I even like.
That's
Is that Coco or Cacao? Coco.
With Don Toliver.
Yeah.
I kind of like that one, but there's like a lot of sounds going on, and it kind of like it's a lot going on.
I
So
like
I'm
it.
kind of indifferent.
Maybe because I was working out to it, I like the vibe it gave
Just
me,
gave you
'cause
some
it's pretty
energy.
upbeat. Yeah, it's pretty upbeat. But yeah, like you said, any song with Kendrick, I still think Family Ties is.
Still,
It might be like my favorite. It might be my best song of the year. Like I might put it up there
I
as
can
that.
see that. This is one of them.
So, but definitely South Africa, Lost Souls, those are all mine. And Boomin' 2 was definitely a good one.
Booming that beat on Booming.
What's crazy, all these ones that we're calling out, I was like, damn, I feel like these are gonna be sleeper ones that people don't like, and then here we are. That's what you guys like.
Yeah, we're so like, similar. You can tell we're all friends. How'd y'all feel about
Get this
Boy?
shit. Let's top of the morning, 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 top of the
That's how you
morning,
feel
top of the
about
morning,
Boy,
top of the morning. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's.
For some reason, I had Twitter in a headlock this past weekend. I think even Will Kenny. Yeah, Will Kenny tweeted it. Everybody was just tweeting top of the morning and hold up, let's get these. And just different memes, and I was like, where is this coming from? And then I finally listened to the album, and I was like, oh, okay, makes sense.
See, I heard a snippet of it, so I already knew like what people were talking about when it was trending.
Rolly gang, rolly gang, rolly.
It's crazy how memes are just taking over. People be ready to make a meme.
And you could make an NFT off a meme. Going back to NFTs, that's just crazy.
I'm sure, man.
Nah, that's where it started, was memes.
Exactly. Could do anything digital like that. That's why.
Actually, I think the first video that sold as an NFT was the Charlie video.
Ouch, Charlie.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one? Yeah, that shit had the most views too.
They were interviewing them. They were all old and shit.
Oh, I need
The
to
kid?
see that.
They sold it. It was their video.
Right.
Yeah. So now, like,
Yeah.
whoever they sold it to, those people own the copyrights basically now to that
Exactly.
video. They just gave
So
the rights to
whenever-
somebody else.
Whenever they want to put that on TV or news or movie,
They gotta go through this guy. Whoever
New
bought
guy.
that shit.
New guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely need resolution on the Ouch Charlie video. That used to be my jam.
That shit was fun.
I think that came out.
It was just the slow reaction
Yeah.
part.
And they like started auto-tuning it.
Make beats and shit.
Ow. Doom, 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 doom. Ow. Really bad. Okay, we'll follow up with y'all on the Ouch Charlie documentary.
Obviously,
We'll get back to y'all on that. They dropped some more Aaliyah music.
Yeah.
I know I talked about how her family was finally open to releasing some of her music. They dropped one album a couple, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. They dropped the self-titled Aaliyah album. This was low-key the one that everybody was waiting for. I want to say this is the one that came out right when she passed, but I was looking for that I Miss You song. And for some reason I thought that I Miss You was on the Aaliyah album, but maybe that was just a Lucy. But if I'm not mistaken, this was like her last album she was allotted for to drop.
wasn't she making the video? Go ahead.
That she was making, yeah, you were about to say what I was about to say. She was making the video for Rock the Boat, and when she was on her way back to the States from that video is when her plane kind of went down, is what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in 2001, which was the same time when the other plane things was going on. And I was like, okay, what's going on with planes? Clearly this is trying to tell us we don't need to be on planes. And I'm scared of heights, so that kind of like started my whole fear of heights.
Do you know like any of the details of how it?
You know, I said
Crashed?
when their family released that statement that was going to be good, because not only with the music comes like more, the artist becomes more personable and they're more open. So I think with the family releasing the music, that basically states they're going to be more open to like
Giving
doing
details.
documentaries and like insides, facts, like low-key interviews that nobody has, different stuff like that. Because we don't never see no Aaliyah interviews or like nothing surfacing, no concert
No doc.
footage, nothing. So I would be real interested to see a Aaliyah doc, and I think a lot of people would. But if I'm not mistaken, what I remember is she was kind of like on a jet, so like a smaller plane, and they had their luggage on the plane, and the plane was basically too heavy because they had all that equipment. And I guess they told them that the plane might be too heavy, but they were trying to get back regardless. They didn't want to leave their equipment, and sure enough, the plane ended up going down.
Damn.
But I would love to see an actual doc of like actual,
More
because that's just kind of
details,
hearsay.
I also heard the pilot might have some drugs in his system.
That too,
I think it was cocaine or something.
I can see
Who
it.
doesn't do
Because
cocaine?
when you do jets, it's like independent contracting basically. So it's just
It's like their jet.
yeah,
how they fly.
yeah. So that would be interesting. But all that's to say, this Aaliyah album is fire. I'm enjoying getting this Aaliyah music, and it's dope. That I mean, it's not dope, but it's kind of like a new album because it hasn't been on streaming services for so long, and it came out in 2001. It's 20 years ago, so I'm like a whole new person listening
I'm
to
saying,
it.
like, I definitely didn't listen to that one.
I feel like I did, but like
I mean, I did.
9-year-old me, yeah, 10-year-old me, and
The comprehension.
29.
is
You heard
right.
it, but you wasn't listening.
right,
Yeah.
rock the boat. It hit a lot different at 29. Let me tell
That shit. Oh.
you. Yeah. Just stroke, huh?
Work,
Stroke it for me, huh? Stroke it for me.
Dang, Aaliyah.
That's what I'm saying. It hit a lot different when you
No
29.
wonder.
So I definitely been bumping the Aaliyah. Eric Bellinger dropped a new album called New Light. Eric Bellinger drops an album every 2 weeks. I'm literally not playing.
Because he did drop an album earlier this year, right? Yeah.
Bro, if I click on Eric Bellinger, he has had like 3 albums this year, like 4 last year.
Because I remember you mentioned one on this podcast when it first came
With
out.
Hitmaker.
Yeah, that's
I was
exactly
still,
what it was.
I
Yeah.
was still like on that album, and then I'm like, wait, Eric
That means
Bellinger
he's
is
good. You got the talent.
And that's the thing, but he's still so low key. And you know, I love my writers. He's more of a writer, Like he has a lot of writing credits, he has a lot of executive producer credits.
That's what I'm saying, you just gotta get it out.
So I think he just literally has so much music, he's like, y'all gonna get this somehow.
When you guys, because everyone like interprets music different for what they like. When you listen, would you say, are you more in tune with the way the melody, the beats, all that sound, or are you more in tune with the lyrics and what they're saying?
I'm gonna say I'm more beats
Okay.
and how it sounds, because I always gotta go back and be like, dang, what were they saying?
Yeah.
Because I just be vibing with the music. That's how I've always been. I've always been like that.
Okay.
That's a good question. And people always ask that or like talk about that. And so I always be trying to think like what catches my eye first or my ear first. And I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like naturally the beat, because that's usually what you hear first. But like I really don't know what it's like. If I feel it, I'm like, I just feel it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of good.
I think it could go either way. I definitely would probably side more with Jarrell. Like I tend to listen or get caught more by the beat and the sound first. But also there's like, if someone's saying something and it's catchy, like you kind of catch that first. So I think it just kind of depends, but mostly I gear towards the
I
music.
feel like you gear toward more lyrics.
You think so?
Oh.
Yeah, love that.
I couldn't say it. Okay.
I was like, yeah, we got it.
Just based off the artist you like you like lyrical artists.
Yeah, but I think that is
Like, you like the
eventually.
East Coast
Yeah.
artists.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
eventually.
But I also think I
mean,
became fans of them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
But
that
I get it.
yeah.
Because a lot of the people that you do, we'll just use Freddie for a minute. Like you weren't the biggest Freddie fan initially because I feel like aesthetically.
I didn't listen to what he was saying. Yeah.
But then once you actually like
Yeah.
played it, you're like, actually, this beat's kind of tight.
And
Actually,
then what he said, I'm like,
Exactly.
man, this was killing that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's
That's why I said
perfect.
naturally. I feel like everybody hears the beat first.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this is kind of slapping, and then they start rapping a little bit. You hear the cadence. Is it catchy? And then the hook comes in. I love a good bridge though. If the bridge is good, especially on R&B, if you make a good bridge, and a lot of people don't even know what a bridge is, but it's kind of like when the song kind of starts to break down, and it's not a verse and it's not the hook. So whatever that other little like stanza is usually the bridge. It's usually like at the end, the middle of the song. But if you have a good bridge in R&B, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a good song.
Definitely R&B, they be leaving on good notes, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
You never have just something that's cut off in R&B, that's for sure.
I realized I like beats, like just hanging out with my friends and like diverse in music. It's like the people that I was listening to versus, like for example, I was listening to like Gucci Mane and Soulja Boy, and people are like, bro, why are you listening to them? Like, they trash, they suck. I'm like, bro, the beats are dope though. They're like, yeah, you're right. The beats are nice. I'm like, oh, you guys like lyrics. That's what y'all look for.
But I was one of those people who thought it was trash too until I actually started listening, and I was like, actually, Gucci's kind of fire.
I mean, yeah, it forced me to listen to lyrics, but no, he's not as lyrical as like most artists.
Yeah.
Like I get it, you know, but he's not. He doesn't suck. I mean,
I think it's just different for everybody. That's interesting. Back to Eric Bellinger though, he definitely has a lot of music in the past 3 years. I think that's dope though. He's just like, I'm gonna flood the system. He has his fan base. Clearly, people are gonna listen. That are gonna listen. If not. But I think that's kind of how you grow your fan base. Is you just flood the system. You kind of just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
And I think I said this last episode or the episode before, but when you're like pushing to get to the top tier or become bigger as an artist, I think you do have to produce a lot of products, right? Songs, whatever you want to call it, for people to listen to. Content, there you go, that's a better word. But you have to produce a lot of content because you need people to catch on to you. They may only catch a few songs from this album, but someone else may catch it from this other album, and that's kind of how you build the traction. I think when you're catching traction, you need to keep giving them stuff to listen to.
And the dope thing about that traction or the compound is it's all within 2 years. So like they're still all relatively fresh. And we always talk about this, how it's blended between mixtapes and EPs and albums. But for Eric Bellinger, I mean, he has Brandy on here. This has to be like an album. But I'm like, I don't know how serious EB takes this. Like if he's just throwing Lucy's out there as like a mixtape and just getting fans ready for a real major production album, or if this is a real album or what. But he does have a lot of music, so I think he's just like, get it out.
See, when you are big though, you could hold on to shit. You don't need to release music. Example, Rihanna. Like, she's still the biggest thing out there, and she's like, you know what? I don't need to release this music. I can just chill, and I'll release it when I want to.
True. But what's interesting to me about Eric Bellinger is I feel like he doesn't even have to drop his own music. Like, he can be,
He does help other people.
he can be totally successful and eat just off writing credits. And he actually has a song and he says that. But he works with like Chris Brown. He works with like all the biggest people. So if he gets that writing, his publishing checks are crazy. But all that's to say, Eric Bellinger, New Light, he has Dom Kennedy on a song, The Game on a song together. Wasn't my favorite song. Seven Streeter is on here. I definitely like that. Brandy is on here. Teedra Moses. I didn't get the chance to listen to the whole thing. I listened to like the first half this morning, and I'm a fan of Eric Bellinger. I like it.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
I can solidly say that I'm a fan of Eric Bellinger. For the last couple years, I've been like on the teeter edge, but this so far, the one with Hitmaker that I talked about on here, I'm just really growing into a fan of his. I like the way he moves. I like the way he goes about his business. So I would definitely check that out. Came across the J Balvin album. I didn't listen to it, but I know J Balvin's like a superstar, so I definitely want to download that. J Balvin, Jose.
Bro, you ain't gonna understand what he's saying.
So what? I'm still
Bro, we were just talking about the beats though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I fucks with it.
If it's a vibe, it's a vibe.
Latin Sundays, baby.
Exactly. You know, you was in there. Not knowing what they
was
was
talking about, but that was
It was lit though, huh?
like, what? Who's this? Bad Bunny? Okay.
that Bunny. Yeah, I don't know what he be saying. This music's hot though.
It's
That's a
fire.
perfect example right there.
Exactly.
He's like a Bad Bunny too.
But that's the thing with overseas too. These artists travel overseas to countries that don't speak English, and they be knowing all the words to their songs, and they don't speak no English.
True.
So music is universal. That's the dopest thing about
Sure.
music.
Exactly. Cause I'll fucking mouth the words. I'll say the words out loud to a Bad Bunny song or some shit.
You don't even
Cause
know
I
what
heard
you're
it so many
saying.
times. Yeah, I still don't know what I'm saying.
Exactly. It's like it's like
So
I
I
want to say
wonder.
it, but I don't know what he's saying.
So I wonder, do those people overseas know what they're saying, or are they just repeating the song?
I don't think
what
they
they're
know to the
saying?
full context, but
Yeah.
they might like
Well,
have rap
and
genius.
pussy.
Exactly.
Do they know
I
what
don't
they're
know.
saying?
One thing I do know from just traveling outside of the States is other countries are ahead of America though in regards to knowing other languages. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people in other countries know some Spanish a little bit.
For sure.
Because they were required to learn some English too. So who knows? It might just be different for them.
For sure. I think it's a whole mixture.
You're right. You're right.
Because isn't English like the #1 language in the US?
That's
It
top.
is, yeah.
Like worldwide.
English is the #1 top language. So
Our,
yeah, that's me.
our favorite bald-headed uncle dropped the album. Everybody's favorite, Common.
Coming out to Erica.
Beautiful Revolution Part 2. I know he dropped the Beautiful Revolution Part 1 within the last 1 or 2 years, so it's interesting and it's dope to see him follow up with the new Part 2 so quickly. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Did any of you guys listen to the
I've
Common?
listened to like half of it. The only song that really stood out to me was the song with Black Thought, When We Moved.
Yeah.
It's the only one that I was like, oh, I like this song. But besides that, it sounds like Common. I mean,
Yeah.
he's great at what he does.
Right.
Yeah.
I seen he had a freestyle kind of floating around too
Yeah.
on LA Leakers, but I didn't watch it yet. But I definitely want to check that out.
This is random. Does Common cuss?
No, I don't think he does. Or at least I don't think he does.
I don't know if he does anymore, but he definitely used to.
In his
Yeah.
music?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I heard anything.
I don't
It
know. I
didn't
get
really.
those vibes, but I can't
I know for sure he used to
play a
cuss.
song.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he used to. I can't really recall every lyric.
But I haven't heard this
Yeah.
album, so I don't know if he's like on
But I don't
some
think he.
more
I
cool
don't.
stuff.
I don't think he was saying any like curse words like fuck or shit.
This nigga was signed to good music with Kanye, bro. Of course
Yeah.
he was cussing. You can't be with good music and not cussing. Common's best album. Is that Common? Yeah. Common's best album. I recommend all y'all go download that shit now if you don't have it. Y'all too. Is B with
No, I have. I've listened to this album.
Came out in 2005.
Mhm.
Executive produced by Kanye. This is Kanye's probably most classic album. I was gonna say it's the album that put Kanye on, but nah, he was kind of already like on. But this is the album that made him a legend. And that's kind of right when he started hooking up with Kanye. And that's right when they kind of started hooking up with John Legend.
And there's a lot of songs on here that people have probably heard all across commercials and shit like that. So
For sure, this is a really good album. But Common's always gonna be a GOAT, so shout out to Common. Any other music that dropped? Tim's. I've definitely been on the Tim's vibe lately. Tim's is an artist out of Africa, Nigeria, something like that. But she's on the song with Wizkid, the Essence song. She's on the Drake album. She's kind of buzzing right now, and I think that's why Apple chose to highlight her. They did the same thing for the Fouché and somebody else, but where they do like the Apple Music Up Next spotlight. They give them a whole little spotlight and like super market them. She has Tim's album is called If Orange Was a Place. She has Brent Fires on here. I think that's mostly the standout album or the standout single, but it's only 5 songs, so it's a quick listen and it's really dope. She also has another EP that's another 5 or 6 plays that I like more. I only listened to this once, so I don't know how much I really like it. But her other little EP is dope too, and like I said, they're both quick listens.
for Broken Ears.
For Broken Ears, and that one's really dope. What's the number 3 song on there?
Number 3, Free Mind.
Free Mind is the standout track on there. So shout out Tim. She's definitely a superstar in the making. Clearly she with Wizkid and Drake already. So.
This album dropped last year this time.
She got some trajectory going. I think that's all for new music spotlight though. You guys have any other music you want to highlight?
Nah, there's nothing. I mean, this has been a great year for music. I feel like we've said this on the podcast. Like, let's enjoy this year, the little time we have left.
That's the thing though. Like, there's so much new music dropping. I wonder how long this music is gonna be immortalized.
Bro, I'm excited for the holidays. God damn, I don't know why that just came over me. I'm like, man, we're just gonna have so much shit to indulge in these holidays.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Family, music, TV shows,
Concerts.
movies,
See, I'm curious how Halloween's gonna be this year.
True.
I'm curious that.
Fuck that shit.
But honestly, Thanksgiving's my favorite, and it's just because I love to eat. I'm a fat boy.
Thanksgiving is definitely my favorite.
We have to do it. We have to make sure we get a Friendsgiving.
Definitely
That's
like
for sure.
Friendsgiving.
For sure.
A couple more albums that are getting ready to come out that we can highlight. Cousin Stiz is dropping an album. Or I don't know if he's dropping an album soon.
He's gearing up to.
Exactly. He dropped the official single, so you know the album has to be coming soon. We'll end with the Say That song. It's pretty dope.
I like it.
And the video's dope too.
I haven't seen the video though.
But Lil Nas X is getting ready to drop an album too this Friday. And we talked about how he's kind of the golden child right now. He has I was talking to my friend about this. He has a song called Industry Baby. But he's literally like the industry baby, the industry plant of the time right now. Like, he was at the VMAs performing, highlighted. He's at the Met Ball, Met Gala. He's here. He's on this runway. He's here. He's making sure that he's performing at Billboard. They're putting him here. Like, he's
doing
everywhere.
lawsuits. He's doing everything.
He's everywhere, and he's doing all that without even dropping an album yet. So I'm interested to see how his debut album will be.
Wait, he doesn't have an album?
Not an album.
This is promo run right here. All this is just promo run.
But he's dropping projects though.
He has a project,
Okay.
but it's only like 5 songs. He has no real body of
He has a
work.
project? I thought he had singles.
I think he has an album called like 7, and it's literally like 7 songs.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
is
his
that like
album
Panini
is
on there and stuff,
Monterio. His album coming out is called Monterio.
Montero, and that's his real name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I don't know that. Learned something new.
exactly.
Yo, but I don't know if that's like Photoshop or if they actually put a stomach on him. That
What?
shit.
You said
You didn't know he's pregnant?
Photoshop?
I mean, I've seen this.
No, it's not Photoshop because he was
I
running with it.
misunderstood.
He was like he was working out with it.
You said you don't know if it's Photoshop or if they put a real stomach on.
Well, was it like a fake?
It's makeup. It's makeup.
What's
definitely.
crazy is he
It's
like,
a music video. It
for
hasn't
him
come
to
out yet.
be so like hyped and everywhere. He makes good music. Like he's actually talented. I like him a lot. One of these snippets was fire. I can't remember which one, but I want y'all to listen.
He's got eyes already.
Exactly.
Shout out to our boy Lil Nas X.
Does it show the features on
I
here?
think so. Other than Naomi Osaka, he's one of the main
Doja.
people. One of the main people we talk about.
Oh,
I can't see that good, so you
He
guys.
had a
say.
video where he promoted all the features, which is dope. We should have played that.
So obviously Jack Harlow's already one, we know that.
Yeah.
Doja Cat, Elton John, Meg Thee Stallion, Miley Cyrus. Looks like the features.
It says drops September 17th at midnight. So
Tomorrow.
definitely looking forward to that.
Wait, September? Oh, I mean.
What's crazy? You guys were saying, what did Gerald just say? You said, oh, when he first came out, he was breaking all the country records. And I was having a conversation with my friend. Everybody loves him, first off. All the girls definitely love him. But she was saying the reason that he's so popular is because he represents so many different backgrounds and represents so many like communities. For one, he's gay, openly. He's a black man, so you got the blacks. He's a hip hop artist, kind of like going into country, so he's trying to do that whole thing. Like he just has so many different communities and so much different support from him. It is hard for him to lose right now.
It's crazy. You talking about him being pregnant right here? It was like a promo for, I think it was for his album. I'm just gonna guess it's for his album. I don't know why he's pregnant. I don't get the concept.
He's about to release his baby.
He was having a baby shower, and Obama sent him gifts saying congratulations.
That's fire. But yeah, basically, I think the album is his baby, so he's
Yeah.
pregnant with his baby. The
I
Montero
thought that was
show.
crazy that Obama sent him gifts.
Yeah,
saying
he's huge.
congratulations.
He's a rock star already. At the I meant to bring this up earlier, but at the Met Gala after party, he walked in. He's like, let me see if I can find the video. He walks in. He's like all good, all happy. 2 hours later, he comes out. This fool's getting carried out. Like he had the best time of his life.
That's hilarious.
He literally had so much fun at the
Yeah,
Met Gala.
he posted a photo bomb. I mean, a photo dump
Oh yeah, I seen that
of all the people that he was like running into at the Met Gala
in the last
or the
picture.
VMAs. I think it was Met Gala. But yeah, he had hell of people.
Yeah, it was
Uzi,
the Met Gala.
Erica Badu.
I also think it was dope that Jack Harlow and Lil Uzi are like, they had like plenty of pictures at the
They on the same
VMAs.
record label, aren't they?
Well, yeah, that was kind of.
technically.
Yeah, but didn't they have like?
Well, they were found by the same person.
Yeah,
Didn't Lil Uzi not really like Jack Harlow?
exactly.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to say like he was the new Uzi basically,
Yeah.
like he's gonna take your spot because
That was
they were
Drama's
both found by
second
Drama,
artist.
right? But
yeah,
you
Drama and Uzi fell out, and Drama, Jack Harlow was his next artist up.
exactly.
So yeah, that only makes sense.
And they were kind of sending shots at each other. I think Jack Harlow said something like shady, and Lil Uzi tweeted at him and some BS. But you know, it's all the internet. So
Yeah.
it was cool to see that they're on
Yeah,
cool
they
terms.
were cool. What was that? The BT Awards?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were cool. That's when they first was taking
Yeah.
pictures together. That's when they first met up.
I'm not like the hugest Jack Harlow, while we're talking about, I'm not the hugest Jack Harlow like musical fan, but as a person, I actually really like the kid.
Seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, like,
Seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's definitely very cool.
For sure.
Seems funny.
You
Seems
know,
like somebody
like-
I would hang out with. For
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Lil Nas X too.
Not
Seems
too
like
much
somebody
into
I would
himself,
kick it with.
You know, like
He don't be in too much drama.
No, yeah. One,
Just a cool little white boy.
What I like,
him and
yeah.
Nas X are hilarious together.
Well, and that's what I think about both of them is I'm very big on just being yourself and you being comfortable being yourself. Like that makes me like kind of gravitate more towards you. like as a human.
Agreed.
And so I think with both of them, they're like genuinely themselves. You know what I mean? Like even though he may be like an industry baby, so to say, I still feel like that's what makes him unique. Is like he's like, I'm gonna be me and be me to my
No,
fullest.
for sure. Clearly, he's like going against the frame because there's a lot of people who are in fits about this or that or the third. But I'm interested to see how his debut album sounds because he's a superstar without an album. So if this album is not good, then it's like.
But has he really made a bad song? Like any song that you listen to, would you be like, oh, this song is trash?
No, he's a great pop artist. For
Yeah.
sure.
Especially since he's been on his like album promo run, like his
For sure.
super produced stuff. No,
That's what I'm saying. Like he's at this point, his team, he's
team's not
gonna
gonna
make
run
good everything.
I don't even know
Everything.
who he's signed to.
I don't know either. That's crazy. Like he's literally an industry baby. Like everybody just got their hand on it.
Probably like a Def Jam or something.
Gotta be somebody big, right?
Man, I remember when he first started coming out, he said though, he was like talking like, he was staying on his sister's couch and shit while he was trying to make music and shit.
Columbia,
Yeah,
Amuse.
that might be his own shit. Some third party. But yeah, I think you guys are right. I think he's definitely too far deep to fail.
Yeah.
Like he has Doja Cat on there. Like there's gonna be some, even if it's not a good complete album, there's gonna be moments there, as there is already. Like the industry baby song is already taken off.
Real quick before we get out of music, I feel like I always give the numbers. Since Baby Keem was kind of like the highlight of
There,
everyone.
no, I like that you. I don't know where you begin, but I like that you bring and report them. So definitely,
He's looking to do around 55,000-60,000 for
Okay.
his debut album.
that's solid.
That's pretty solid, yeah.
With like no real
Promo or
promo
nothing,
or
yeah.
backing other than Kendrick. That's great.
He literally dropped like a single before, and then I guess do-rag activities, but yeah.
It wasn't much
Last time we
promotion.
recorded, we didn't have the confirmation on the numbers of Dre. We just had the predictions, right?
Yeah, I
It
didn't
was like 650, but he did what, 615?
No, I think he only ended up, yeah. It was only ended up doing 615. Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
because he was
still
close.
good though.
600.
Because these are all projections, so it's just a given a range. But
Right. No, I just remember last
Yeah.
time you gave that projection, but it came out to be 616, which is still in the 600s, which is crazy.
yeah, no, that's still wild.
And he's
Still on top.
He occupied 9 out of the top 10 spots.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He already
What was the
had
other
the
one?
record for
Was it Family
the
Ties?
top
I
3.
think so.
The other one was Family
For
Ties.
Bill,
Yeah,
that's it's so weird now because back in the day, I feel like for Billboard, you would have had to submit a single to the radio to get like put on the Billboard top streams.
To get your streams.
But nobody's gonna submit like 9 singles. Whereas today, Billboard's just based off of streams. So if your album is just out streaming, of course all 9
Yeah.
songs are gonna be top 10. It's so weird.
Jay-Z knew that. Remember when he dropped that album?
What else?
Magna Carta,
When he sold the digital copies first?
$1 million to
Yeah,
Samsung.
Magna Carta, yeah.
Yeah, he knew that this was happening. And he was like,
No, my physical.
Right,
I'm
the
getting
new
my
rules.
physicals off.
Yeah.
He's
he
like,
wrote
"Yo,
the
I'm
new
gonna get my-
rules. He's like,
I'm gonna get
he
my
didn't
bill
write the
in."
new rules, but he knew the new rules were being written.
That was part of
He's,
his.
he's smart.
That was part of his campaign. Was
Exactly.
his new rules. He
Exactly.
literally
Like he
said-
knew it was happening, but he wanted to stamp it. You know, like he's smart. Like I fuck with Jay-Z.
And speaking of Meek, one of the Jay-Z quotes from his last album, he was like, "We was praising Billboard, but we was young. Now we look at Billboard like, is you dumb?
For real.
Like that shit don't mean nothing." But speaking of Hove, God MC,
It's only right.
Young Goat. I came across this on Instagram of all places. It says the Broncos are. Oh wait. It says Jay-Z is currently in talks to become the owner of the Denver Broncos. It's like, this is weird. It says the Broncos are currently not for sale. However, the team is set to hit the market in 2022. After they say will be an orderly determination of ownership, and Hove may be interested. I think I also seen Jeff Bezos' name being thrown around
Nah, fuck him.
and a few other names. But how do we feel about billionaire Hove being becoming owner Hove and potentially like taking on the realms of the Denver Broncos? Shout out to Denver.
That's crazy because I remember, I could be wrong, totally wrong, but I remember I think one of the owners died or something.
That.
And then went
his
to
children.
their children.
Yeah,
but
they're
they were
fighting
like
over that
all
shit.
divided about
Yeah.
it. So this is that outcome. I was
Yeah.
always wondering how it was gonna turn out. So
I was gonna bring that up. I'm
decided
glad
to-
you did.
They're just gonna decide to sell it now, huh?
Yeah, I was wondering, it says an orderly determination of ownership. So
That probably means like through the court system, it was probably given like you have to sell this, so you guys.
Right. So the court is selling it.
Yeah.
and what's crazy is the Broncos is like a top 5 grossing NFL team. So
No, we're high up there, bro.
they're gonna be.
Like our stadium alone was being bidded high for just the name of it.
Yeah. In one of our shows, I'm pretty sure we gave the rankings for grossing, but the Broncos, like you said, Broncos were up there. But I did see some people not feeling this move.
I mean, how do y'all feel before we dive into how other people feel?
Anything Hov does, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a Hovinger.
Yeah,
so
you are, yeah.
Anything Hov does, I'm on board. I trust him. So
Any you wanna play devil's advocate at all?
no, I was gonna say why people are upset.
So, according to Forbes, though, real quick,
Mhm.
Denver's top 10. They're 10.
Remember
Number
when,
10.
when
Number
the was it the Panthers went on sale, or was it the Panthers and Diddy was trying to be like part owner?
Hmm. And they say he didn't have enough money.
Yeah. Nah, it's gonna take a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jay Z.
And you're gonna be part owner.
Just first thoughts. I don't think Jay Z could own the Broncos by himself.
Well, yeah.
So he could be like a part owner.
But what they do is they
But I don't think he's gonna.
they get funding, or they like get a group together, an investment group, and Jay-Z will probably just be the face of the investors. So he'll be part owner, but he'll be the face of the whole ownership.
Right, like he'll make the payment, but he'll get
Have
the funds
their-
from people.
I know the NFL is like, the owners is like, they're all white. Has there ever been a part owner that's not white? Do we know that?
I think so. I think there's like one that's like
Oh, I thought Diddy would show me the first.
black, but I think there's one that's like Arabian. I don't know if he's Arabian, but he's like Middle Eastern or something. But there's like one that's like not white,
Okay.
but there's no blacks. And the thing that people were upset about, or not upset, but they were like, this might not be good, is because what if he tries to take the Denver Broncos to another location?
You ain't gonna do that.
Someone in here said the Brooklyn Broncos. Sounds good though.
We better get out of here. Y'all and they both suck.
But yeah, I don't think they'll let them take the Denver Broncos. Clearly, we're doing a great job of like filling seats and giving money.
Well,
So
and he would only move if there wasn't a thriving fan base.
right,
Like
there's
this-
no need
yeah.
to take them to Brooklyn.
I don't think that'll happen. I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets that because I think that's a good accomplishment to be an owner in the NFL, especially to be the first black owner,
Yeah.
and to kind of break that barrier and make history that way. I mean, I hope he does. I think I kind of side with you where I'm like, is it gonna happen? I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd bet my life on it, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
It sounds
He has to have a lot of money to do that. Like, or he could do what Lamar said, just
Get
be
him.
the face and just get
Yeah.
that money. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, he could do it. It's just Jay Z. He could just get all his hip hop homies and be like, "Hey, let's fuck about his football team." But to go back to the owners that are non-white, there's only 2 of them, and one is a co-owner, but the first one is the full owner, and he's a Pakistani, and he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Middle East.
Oh, did he just recently purchase them?
Within the last 2 years. maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that.
2 or 3
Okay.
years.
And then the Buffalo Bills is co-owned, and then one of the owners is a Asian American.
South Asian or South Korean.
She's just Asian American.
It says South Korean right here.
Oh,
South Korean.
so that's the
descent.
Asian. South Korean.
Well, I think they need more diversity. So
But yeah, there's no
Yeah.
black ones, so
exactly.
Right. So really, there's only one, and the other one is like Asian American.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. With that being said, to be the first black owner, you gotta come with that pay, bro.
it's gonna be a lot of
Broncos
scrutiny.
are so expensive, bro.
It's gonna be a lot
Once
of
they
scrutiny.
start bidding, the price is gonna go up and up and up and
Oh,
up
for sure.
and up and up and up and up. And it's cool. Who's gonna run out of money first?
Well, anyone but Jeff Bezos is what I'm going for. So
I can see Jeff Bezos. He has the money.
He's gonna call us the Denver.
He could easily
Amazon.
go like, yeah. He was like, he
Denver
could go
Broncos.
sell some Amazon stock and be like, yeah, I'll take the Broncos. Fuck it.
Why not? But we're all. I mean, I think so, we're
You
all.
gonna take him to space? What, did you say that?
Nah, I said the Denver Primes.
The Denver Primes. Now you gonna say the name? And then Amazon's headquarters is gonna be in Denver. He's gonna move to Denver. And everybody's gonna move to Denver. Man, fuck that.
Everybody's already moving to Denver.
Exactly.
Tell me about it.
They
The
already know
fucking
what's up.
prices of houses just keep going up, bro. I look all the time and I'm like, bro, I swear this shit was just like in this area was like I saw
It goes
350,000.
up like-
Now that shit's like
It
425,000.
goes
I'm
up
like, yo,
$20,000 a
what the
month.
fuck is going on?
$20,000 a month houses are going up. $20,000. It might be higher than that now.
That's stupid.
It has to slow down eventually, right?
I seen a meme and it was like millennials and they were like poking something and they were like waiting for the housing market to crash. It's like that's definitely all the millennials right now. Just
Nah.
hoping
It
this
sounds
It's
that,
either,
but
it's
I'm
either gonna
not there.
crash or
not necessarily crash,
But come down. But the
Well-
thing is
it's gonna take a big shift as far as how people
crypto.
are. Exactly. No,
Yeah,
joking, but it's real.
no, I'm not joking. I'm saying I'm the
people
crypto.
are gonna become wealthy
That's our
out of
chance.
nowhere.
This is
And they're gonna be able to afford these houses, so there is gonna be no pop. This is gonna keep going up.
crypto is the chance for the average Joe person averaging their $50,000 a year or whatever they make
Exactly.
to
Wake up.
become an elitist.
Put your money to work. This is the time to put your money to work or get left and stay poor.
But what I think too,
Stay harshly.
the other side to it is if we wait too long, like right now they have the best interest rates to buy houses. At some point that's gonna end, and usually,
Exactly.
most likely whenever it does pop or steadies out or whatever you want to call it, those interest rates are gonna go up. So it's like
Once
we're
the
fucked
financial,
either
because the
way.
financial institutions are like
Yeah.
holding on to their dollar values right now, so they're
Mhm.
like trying not to raise interest rates, because they're not trying to scare people away.
hmm
So they're trying to keep that money coming in, so they're keeping it, you know. Then once they like establish, like they probably investing in Bitcoin too, because they're not done, you know.
Yeah.
So once it all booms, the tide's gonna rise together, and then yeah, interest rates they're gonna like start establishing interest rates again.
Something's got to give. It's like
So,
if this sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
Yeah.
Just a couple quick tidbits of news before we get out of here, unless you guys have anything else to add. It says Biden's Treasury Department declares that the IRS will monitor all transactions involving U.S. accounts worth more than $600.
So my biggest thing is why.
And how? Because that's
Yeah.
a lot of transactions.
Yeah, I was like, I'll do that
Like, what?
transaction.
I pay rent at least
Right.
once a month.
And
I go-
transfer, you know how much Cash App, Venmo, like, you know how easy it is to transfer $600 today?
For
Right,
sure.
like, I do that all the time. That's what I'm saying. Like,
They're either gonna hire hella people, or this is all cap.
And when they say U.S. accounts, does that even get into like your brokerages accounts
yeah,
or?
all federal accounts.
That's crazy. I don't know how.
But yeah, like why? Where did this come
why?
from?
Yeah. What?
It's all
What
about-
is the point?
What
It's the
prompted
Bitcoin shit, bro. They trying to track where all this money's coming from. They're like, hold on, you started with $500, now you got $5,000 in 2
Low
weeks.
zero.
What just happened? I was like, oh, this cryptocurrency. I don't know. Moonshine went up today.
Low key. This is like, there's like a new millionaire like every day off of one thing or another. So there's probably like, why is there so much money?
Bro,
like,
they're panicking. They don't know what's going on.
and there's not enough
Because
physical
they can't
money.
control it. It's because they can't control it.
And there's not enough money for everybody anyways. Like,
Exactly.
if
So
everybody took out
they're
all the money that they actually
panicking,
had
They wouldn't be able to give. Like if
Oh.
everyone was like, "Hey, I want my cash."
right now.
Bro,
Well, you know, there's like, you know, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's crazy is you could start your own banking system. Correct? There's a.
Yeah, explain.
I mean, you
I don't
can,
want to get
yes.
too deep because I don't know.
You wanna do your
Yeah, I was like,
research?
let me do some research. But I'm pretty sure it's like a self-banking system. And this dude, I forget his name. He's like this.
You just gotta make sure you have enough money to pay everybody.
He talks about it.
Capitalism, that's anything.
But that's what I'm saying. The bank's still like, still business.
Right.
Like think of how like people have these like, oh, we'll lend you $5,000. Like it's kind of the same idea from my understanding. But this gentleman, he's like he's a black father. He's very pro guns. He's all about getting the government away. It's kind of like what it's all about. And he talks a lot about like the self banking, and he like promotes it. He does classes for people to start it. I'd have to dive in more because I fully don't understand.
Find out his name so we can shout him out.
It's man,
When you say self-banking, what do you mean though? Like,
I can
because
answer that
the main advantage of the bank is to keep your money safe and to get loans. So to be a self-banking, yeah, you keep your money safe by yourself, find ways, but can you give yourself loans?
I mean, if you got enough money, like a lot of people will borrow against their 401k. That's basically giving yourself a loan. You're paying it, and you'll pay it back at some point. But that's your money.
So,
But I don't know. I'd have
So
to
you
look
would-
more.
Yeah, that'd be a good topic to look more into.
because the bank, this is what the bank does with your money. They use your money to make more money.
Right.
So if you're
Or your idea of
if
money.
you're self-banking, basically means don't put your money under your bed, but put your money to work. There's only, because that's what the bank does. It makes money or it keeps your money safe. So if you're gonna do that yourself, you keep your money safe however you want to do it. But how you gonna make your money make money for you? You gotta do your own investments. That means you gotta invest your money yourself. Oh no, I'm just trying to think like how can you put it?
I don't know. I gotta find. Oh yeah. See, this is him. This is the guy. That is the guy. But he's
I
like.
think I know him, but it's like Derek Grace or something.
That is exactly what it is, and he does like classes on it all the time, and they would always catch my attention.
Yeah, he's pretty like internet popular. I've been seeing him floating around. I think that's his name, Derek Grace.
No, it is Derek Grace too.
Um,
I'm gonna look more into what he's been talking about because
Yeah.
I used to see it all the time.
Yeah,
But it made
sounds
sense.
Interesting.
follow back up with us with that self-banking stuff. And then lastly, this kind of just came out today as we speak, September 15th. And as I learned more, they say it was a 14-month investigation, which was probably prompted from the Elijah McClain and the protests.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, shout out to Colorado. For actually putting the pressure on these punk asses. Punk
Ass pigs.
It says Aurora, well, I don't even know what this would be called, a synopsis. Investigation
Yeah.
came out about the Aurora Police Department, and it
Violating
proved,
law.
it proved and like actually found evidence that they were violating laws, using excessive force, and racially profiling and doing racially biased practices. And this was based on a state report. And like I said, it was prompted from the Elijah McClain protest and the whole Elijah McClain situation. And it says it was decreed from an independent monitor, but I don't really know like what this means. So does this mean like we could just like
Say fuck you.
gut the whole police department and start over? Is this just like, okay, it's good to know, just go on business as usual? Is this actually going to prompt some type of change within them? Like, what is this?
That's a good question. Well, I think the hard part is if it comes to changing laws, the only way to change a law is done through voting and shit like that. In regards to the culture in that department for the Aurora Police Department, I mean, that's gonna come down to leadership. I'd be curious to know if they're gonna change leadership at that point. If something comes out like this, like clearly they're lacking leadership
They're lacking something.
there, right? So
And look at them, they're freaking Call of Duty ninjas.
yeah, bro. Like
And they're the worst PD department in the nation. And they look like that and they get all this funding just to be racially biased. Like,
Bro, they got so much money, bro.
it all makes sense when you do the research. And the fact that they actually investigated it and it actually came out with hard critical evidence that this was actually like a fact. Not that it's stipulation, not that it's a hunch, Not that, like, I feel like they're, no, it's like concrete. They have racially biased practices. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was something went viral within the Aurora Police Department recently, within the past like 3 months. I forgot what it was, but it was something like bad with the Aurora PD. And the Aurora PD, like one of the chief officers, she's a woman, she fired him instantly. And she like basically shitted on him. And she was like, we're not doing that here. We've had a history of like bad apples, this and that third. But she like basically fired him instantly. So I wonder if the shift has already started, but even this is hard to stomach, especially since it's in Colorado, where there's already not a lot of like diversity in general. But yeah, that was tough to read, and it just came out today, so I really don't know how to take it. But I definitely wanted to
Yeah, I haven't
share
read it yet, so I'm just looking at the headlines.
shit, we're what 10 minutes from Aurora, 7 minutes right now as we record this.
And we lived there for 5 years.
Right, literally. And I used to always tell people like, hey, be careful speeding around here. Be careful speeding in Aurora, because Aurora police do not play around. But I used to just say that because all my friends are just people, every time they have an interaction with the Aurora police, it's always negative, or they did something to them, or like they're on probation because of this, because of Aurora PD. Like they're just, all the stories I hear about Aurora PD are always bad.
And now it's just showing that it's been true. All these
Exactly.
stories that people are saying like we're validated.
Exactly. You know, people are always innocent in
Yeah.
their eyes, you know, right?
Yeah.
But this is crazy to see. Because like I said, I've literally always telling people like, be careful speeding in Aurora, and it's validated. So we'll definitely follow up more on this story.
What I would say is, us as people, we still need to apply the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
The overall theme is what it comes down to. Like, now we have evidence to back it up, and now we just, to change laws, to put in new like people, I think we gotta just keep applying the pressure.
As I read a little bit more, it says the Department of Law, you good on time?
Yeah, we got like 2 minutes.
It says the Department of Law is recommending the city enter into a consent decree that changes policies, training, record keeping, and hiring practices. And then it says the Department of Law in the city of Aurora will have 60 days to come to an agreement on the consent decree. So this is a developing story. This is juicy.
Yeah.
This is real juicy. I'm interested to see. Right there.
Yeah, that's all.
Long story short,
Fook.
police.
Police.
Anything you guys have to get off your chest before we get out of here? I don't have anything else. I think it's been a great Wednesday/Friday.
The only thing I got to get off my chest is stay tuned, because I'm about to drop my cooking videos. I really just want to help educate and inspire people to cook more at home, and to learn how to cook, because it's really not as hard as what people make it seem. Like, if really you could follow instructions, you could cook,
Right.
and it's healthier. And especially
if you can't follow instructions, you can probably still cook.
well, that's why there's video. Just watch. You'll be able to visually learn. And yeah, especially during these times where health is important, like health is wealth. This is the peak of it. Like, we should be cooking. So that's my goal. So stay tuned.
You warrior man.
I like that. I want to be self-sufficient. Like, just grow my own food, cook my own food, not have to go nowhere. Cause I don't like too many fingers on my food.
Yeah, cut out the middleman, man.
Cut out the middleman.
One thing I gotta get off my chest,
Exactly.
man. Y'all know I cut grass every Wednesday. Tell me why I had to rake the grass from leaves for the first time.
Oh,
The
today?
leaves are falling.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
That's
The
insane.
leaves are falling.
It's
bro.
officially
I'm
almost.
I'm literally about to switch from cutting the grass to raking the grass.
Damn.
And then you're gonna be shoveling here soon.
I will. Exactly. But I love this, like just experiencing the seasons change, just being outside like every week, just cutting the grass. Just this is my first like summer, just being like doing grass work every week, just being outside every week. So I'm literally forced to see like the seasons change, like the grass change. Like, dang, it's not growing as much as it was. It's starting to slow down now. All the leaves are changing. Like doing gardening, like it's crazy because I was trying to keep my garden green. Now it's changing colors, but I felt like, fuck it, I don't have to give it nutrients no more. Just let us do is finish off.
I know you kind of like brought it back to life, the lawn, but you should like document that because then it's like it'll help you get more customers. You'd be like, oh, I already got one person under my belt. Look what I did for their lawn, and I'm like, oh yeah, come do me.
No, it's crazy because like I wasn't even trying to like build a customer clientele or anything, but I just like did it, and I was like, oh shit, I could do this. Oh, actually, I like this. Oh, actually, I'm good at this. Like, and I'm just like telling my friends, and they're like, come hook my grass up, and I do it, and they're like, oh shit. And
there's money in it.
Exactly, and I'm doing it. It's not taking me long, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm getting money. I'm like,
then start
should I turn this into a business?
Employing other people and
exactly.
Let them know.
No, and like what you said, like what I said, like grass doesn't grow all season, but then now you can rake leaves. You can keep that clientele though, rake the leaves for them, and then boom, just shovel their. It's just a whole business.
And then imagine when you get your first apartment or community, and that's when you
imagine when you start putting it on social media and educating people on how to maybe grow their plants or to
that too.
You know what I mean? Because people document everything and people will watch that because there's a market for.
There's an audience for everything.
There you go. There's an audience for everything.
There's definitely a gardening audience.
Yeah, for sure.
You make your own fertilizer, like you just have your face on it,
or you like
I'm about to do that.
It'll have your face by a sunflower.
I definitely make some of my own.
Exactly. Wax is wacky fertilizer.
That's why I had to get my chest.
2 sprays and your plants go from this to
once
this.
a week. Over spray.
I don't have nothing else though, man. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Keep watching all the episodes. Episode 33 and like that. We out.
Appreciate it. Love y'all.
Best was the cash one. We were good for less. Roll like an ever. Waving in the